Hello everyone. Let's start our second stream building our game engine together. Just checking here if it's working. Yeah, the audio. Yeah, yeah, the audio. Today the audio is working correctly. Sorry about yesterday, but today you can see already can see here. With whiteboard because I will explain today more about the project we are doing. Great. Its size, I think it's good. And oh, I understand. It's a mini map. Don't want it. I will explain the architecture that I think we will be using at this project, how we will start, the future's concerns, and the modularization of the engine. First, I at the last screen you can see that we are using the SDL. It's too big. Wait a minute. I think it's small. We are using SDL free as a library to help us in abstract the render layer. Why we are using it? Because with the SDL we can make. I think I will do it at the center as with it. I don't use much of the SDL free of the digitalization table, so I'm not the best with it. We can have a single lib that make possible for us to make the engine compatible with Mac, Linux, and Windows. Windows. Oh, man, my letter is terrible. Windows. Windows. So we can make it compatible. Even at the future, we also can use it for uh, consoles, PSP. Also, we can create games, homebrews for PSP, use the SDL. So, uh, also in the future, we can take this and remove the SDL abstraction and create our own abstraction from the zero. So, let's enter more in the architecture thinking of the engine. Uh, at start, the engine will have this architecture here. The executable that will be just same field. So 1 minute, just config here. Great. We will be using this style of architecture. At start, we have an engine, and I will just use here, and that I will delete. Inside here, let's add some text and type. Oh, no, I can't type. It's not working for some reason. I'll just draw. Oh, the text was here. No. delete. Here is our engine executable. So it will the executable of our engine, and that's how I said is the oops, is the engine by itself. Engine. And here we are linking again. We'll have oof, it's not working well. We'll have the engine getting the game data, and that's will be the game. So no, it's hard. Here will be. I think we can use a static library. Let's say let's say STL, static library. That is our game. But the game also can be script that the engine will read. So that is the first architecture that we'll be using. But later, I think it's interesting to us create like a 3-point architecture. That is the engine. No, that is a startup. The engine here. The engine and the game. I will not write here at this to save time. The startup will link the engine will link the game and make the game calls, methods calls. Why that? With this change in architecture, we can make our system happen in a way that we guarantee that the engine handle the main startup, because the the main function of our software will be here. Using the engine as a static library, we can make sure. In reality, I think a dynamic library is better, because we can use the same engine in the editor and in the game. We can make a separation, and the game as a static library, because the editor, like here is the game is executable, and here we can have the editor, for example. So we can have multiple editor. We can have multiple softwares using the engine, while the engine only runs the game. It's basically that the initial idea of the architecture of the modules of the system. For more internal things, I think we can use ant the ant library for the ECS. When we are implementing the ant library, I will explain better what is ECS and why. Oh, control doesn't work. Why we'll be using ECS, and why not game objects or the simple object-oriented programming. And we will be using the SDL3, but I already said that. Also, maybe the geophysics oh, bullet 2D, box 2D physics, some, I would say Jolt 2D. I think it's Jolt 2D, the name of the physics engine. And I don't have great plans for an editor, but if we do the Zar editor, it will be in Qt because I simply want to learn Qt. So that is the overview. The goal of this engine is to be an 2.5D specific engine. The idea of this engine is to get 3D models and convert them to a 2.5D pixelated of pixel art and convert these 3D models to pixel art. Oh, no, it's not that. To pixel art. Pixel art. My letter is terrible at the painting table. But the main goal of this engine is to do this, that we're taking 3D objects, turning them in pixel art, applying shaders, lighting, UV. I don't remember. It's UV, I think, of the lightning to create reflections, that kind of thing, uh, and make a great visual appealing pixel art games based on 3D objects. So now that I have explained the overview, let's return to the code. Just a minute for me to remove my digital, my, I don't know the right name in English, but the digitalization table, I think. Just a minute. Will put here. Oops. Just handle here. Great. Okay. That's. I was reading a little about the next steps that we can do. Let's just open the project. I think we already have a working. Yeah, it's already. No, no, it's my other project. Yeah, I need. It's because of that I can use setup project. Okay, let's just change. Oh, I have to enable the big mode. DMX, Emacs. Great. Let's go to the projects, CD projects slash engine. And we can open here the main.cpp because today we will start make some changes at this. The let's first, so first step, let's be here, and I I don't remember the command to rename a file. I think it's next line name. Navigation toggles projects. I I don't, if it's move to main.cpp. I will use the capital case for the files, source files for now, to follow a, a pattern, a simple pattern. You can use whatever case you prefer. But, and now, just check here, the Mason, okay. Great. I don't want here. And for now, let's go. I will let it be. I want to create a file here at src that will be named, we can name it as engine.h. I don't like much of these header guards, so I prefer use pragma-ons. Pragma-ons. Great. And let's create a class named engine. And we also need the engine.cpp. Okay. We have to do some things here. First, this engine class must abstract our main code, because at the future, as I said, the engine, I want it to be separated dynamic linked library. So for now, we will remove everything that we can from here, the main function. So we need a constructor, destructor that is public, and we also need some private methods and fields. As private, I want to have the window and the render here. I also like this naming pattern for private members, put an underscore here at the end of the name of the variable. And we also need to include the SDL3 SDL.h here. We can also have a simple, if maybe it can be public. Yeah. Let's also make some public member here. Name it public field. Name it. It's a bool. In the boolean, let's use a name should close. Basically, it will be the should close as the OpenGL. It will be the way that we handle here this while true, because as you can see, we can close the application yet, because we are using just the while true. We have to go to the terminal, add, and send a sigkill. And also, I think the sigkill isn't working for me for some reason here at the Emacs. So it will have this should close as a public, because I want to make possible to other parts of the in creating. I think it's better make it private, so we can have more control if the engine should close or not, making possible for others scripts call it. It's good to have some control. At the constructor of the engine construct, we can have setup stage. Also, we need an update stage, update method, render method. Then setup, it's good. Destroy, why destroy will help us because at setup we must handle this, the initialization of the SDL. At the update will be our game loop. And at the update, we also call the render after finishing everything that we need to update. And destroy will destroy everything to clean up our memory. I think it's that. So let's take here. I don't remember. I can No, I just can define the constructor. I can't make it. Oh, here. No, yeah, I can't make define void engine scope operator. Void engine scope operator. Void engine scope operator. Okay. We also need the constructor and the destructor. Engine. Constructor, engine, operator scope, engine, destructor. Great. For now, at moment, I will not be adding anything to this constructor and destructor. But here, the setup, we need this piece of code. Here. And let's include the STD. No, it's not IO stream. stdio is from the C++, is from the C language. Oh, I had forgotten here. You return. Make some login. We will be adding a simple logger at future, but this SDL window and SDL render, we need to remove it. And here we will be using, you can just use here window underscore, but I like to add this, the explicitly use this window underscore, because with that I can know that this variable is coming from the class and not its global defined or anything. Here we will doing the same. Great. And here we also need this code. This code will be using this, while this should close. Oh, another thing, at the end of this, of the setup, we need to set the should close on as false. In reality, it is false for now, but let's guarantee that it, and here we negate because we want to maintain the window open and not to close it when it's not to close. Here we can, I will just copy and paste here and here. But this piece of code here must be also thinking better. It's even, no, I don't know, because thinking at the future is not so good, but sometimes it helps us to prepare. I think we can just use this render here. The update must call the render. No. Let's make a simple member function named run. The run function that will have this void engine run. Here we will call this line update. Oops. We also call here this underline this arrow setup, and when we stop, we call this destroy. This is basically the lifetime of our game engine. We will set up the engine. After that, we will stick here at the game loop of the engine, loop of the engine, and after that, we simply destroy everything. Great. We don't have anything for the update. The render is that. Okay. If I'm correct, we can just come here and come here and use our new engine. Let's create an engine here, and let's do an engine dot run. You can notice that we didn't use here the new keyword, and we are not using anything like that because, like that, for example, because we don't need to allocate that engine at the stack, at least at moment, because the engine class is pretty small. So we can just let it at the stack and don't use the heap memory for that. Because the heap memory is slow, and the stack memory, we can guarantee that the everything we allocate is deallocated. So we can use it without smart pointers, reference count, and for now it's great. Also here we can add a simple, no, let's test here if it's work. Just it's build, no, missing, and no. Oh, okay, I know the issue. It's here. It's main.cpp, and it's just 1 minute. Let's check. multiple files. How can I have to let's just test. I think maybe I have to make it array engine.cpp. Let's see. It worked. Compilation finished. We have some warnings, but the warnings are most the fault of the Mason. Later we check. Just be run. Let's build and run. Great. Here you can see we have a new window. I can't send. I'm pressing my keybind to close windows, but it isn't. It's ignoring the command to be closed. So for now, we have to send a SIGQ for it. Just a minute. So let's fix it. Also, before that, let's make a commit. The name of the commit will be Pete engine and separate engine for it created init engine to it on class. Separate engine to it on class. Let's send to the GitHub and great. Now I have another goal. That is handle that issue that we can't close the window. So I think we can just here will be good. The order here doesn't matter, but I like to make the .cpp be at the same order as the .h that help us to be more concise. And full events. I think it's a good name. With that, we'll handle the SDL events and we can close the window. So let's go here before the update. But I also want to here make this pull events. We pull the events, we update, and we render everything. I think that way is good. Engine pull events. Okay. If I remember well, we can do a switch case, and that switch case we can use the SDL get event. It's something with event. SDL event. Let's check here at the documentation. I have some, I think is SDL example, but that example don't use So let's just check here. Yeah, this example doesn't use events at all. So we can check this full game epidemic of snake and search probably I can't use Ctrl F here. Handle key event. Somewhere app iterate, maybe somewhere here, handle. Oh yeah, we also need here app event. Maybe it's app event. No, they are using the SDL man. It's not what I want. So let's go here of the at the SDL wiki. API category, and let's copy. Let's search for by event handling. Event enable, get event description, get has event, pull SDL pull event. Yeah, I was right. Just the completion didn't show SDL underline pull event. Oh, the why can't use it because I misspelled pull event. Pull event. Oh, it's pull events that I want. Great. Pull events. And the method is SDL pull event. No, pull event that we receive using SDL event pointer. So let's have an auto pointer event. No, I can't use SDL underline event. And I think I won't use a pointer here. I just can pass the reference. Great. Now we can add some cases, and with that we need to know. Oh yeah, I forgot that I need to put that in a while. So while SDL underline pull event at reference for event, I want to enter here, and inside of that we use the switch case to switch event case. Why it's required. Okay, now we need to know what SDL event can be and what we need for now. And to start, I just need the close here, SDL kit event. That case will be SDL kit event. So it's correct name. it really didn't work yet. SDL underline event underline. Oh yeah, it's that. It. If that, we need to change our should close to true and break. For now, it's just that event that we'll be handling here. And we have some issues. Maybe we need to add a default case. Oh, it's bugged. Requires SDL event can't be used. Why? Oh, I think I have to use a dot type here. Yeah, right now it's working. And I also want here some 1 minute. Oh, I correct. Like the documentation. I want some log. Um, unmapped event SD and L and break. This login is just to help us for now. Sorry, and full events here. Great. I think now if we compile the code and open, I can, yeah, it's just close. And we received a lot of unmapped events. In reality, I think I will be removing it. Just let as at this, because if we make a lot of, we will have a lot of events for now that we don't handle them. So the better it will be to ignore these events at this moment of the development, because if we didn't do that, our console will be with a lot of logs. Since it's working, oops, almost passed. Let's remove that and pick engine, add simple close if let add close, no, add simple event handling. Great. And let's push to GitHub. Great. Okay. Now we can start thinking more about others implementations that we need. I remember I saw something that I said we need to implement, but I forgot what I saw. Oh yeah, delta time. It's a very important thing for us to implement, and let's implement earlier at our engine. The delta time, let's draw. Oh, I'm without. We try to draw just with the mouse. Yeah, exit pen mode. The delta time, we use it because. Wait, oh, okay. Because we have some issues at games. For example, one player can have a game playing at 60 FPS. One player can play a game at 60 FPS. Another player can play the same game at 30 FPS. And we need to make sure that these two players will have the same experience playing the game. A game can't be much faster for this player than this, or much slower for this. Also, we'll be having players playing at 24 FPS, 100, 200, 1000 FPS. So we have to make sure that everyone will be playing at the same speed. So because the FPS is run is the count of times that we run that that loop here. So if we have the same, or we can cap our FPS, like saying everyone will be playing at 30 FPS. Console games does this. For example, if I remember well, the remake of the Pokemon Diamond and Pearl have this in Nintendo Switch. They are capped, and uh, so we need something to make everything runs at the same speed. So we need the same speed. Okay. So to do that, we use a thing named delta time. That is the variation of the time. It's a bit of math, but the delta time is basically the time since last frame. Using that, we can calculate the delta time and fix our game loop to run at the at the target speed. So we can came here at our if oh, I think I need the no, it's the engine dot eight. Yeah, it's the engine dot eight. And let's add here a size t red above here. Size t named time since time since no time last frame, or last frame time. Yeah, it's better. Last frame time. Okay. Now, with that variable set, we can come here. The delta time is something that we will probably need at update and at render. It will be good to be added at pull events. We can also make a separated class for it like unit does, but I don't think it's really good. Um, for now, I think also it will also be better with we have the last frame time and the delta time. That also we can have the delta time here inside the class. So right here at before we pull the events, we can say that this loop is required to be called. So let's change a little. No, let's maintain for now. So I don't need here. Sorry for be changing a lot of the code. I thinking while I doing here. I don't have planned uh, much ahead of the system of the engine. This I think that is the third game engine that I'm doing, but I always stop at the start. That time I want to go to the end of the game engine. It's not with probably with, it doesn't have an end, but um, SDL has a method named time. It has a method to get the time since the last frame, or no, it's get it's SDL underline get ticks. Yes. I don't remember if I need the number of milliseconds and the number of nanoseconds. I want milliseconds. Milliseconds? Yeah, I want milliseconds. So the time of the last frame time is equal as the all get ticks in MES. We can calculate our delta time as delta time is the last frame. No, we have to update it after. And let's remove this timer for now. We get this delta time, pass it here, and the delta time is the last frame, no, the current frame. So SDL underline get ticks again, minus the last frame time, and that in the result of that we can divide by 100. I just will print here the delta time because I have almost sure. I think yeah, I have to divide this value by 1000 and this value by also 1000. And close here, just make for understandable. And if I does that, I can't have this as a size T. I need this to be a double. And also here, it's good to have it as a double and dot zero for us don't have to care about that. Let's for now just print at the screen at the terminal the delta time value to see if it's working. Just run. And here we can see the delta time is extremely small. We can check. I already closed. To check if it working well, we can make the reverse. For example, reverse it by multiplying. No, I don't remember well, but I think it's correct. I can check in my other project if it's basically the project. Yeah, it's that. Here, as the cheeks. Oh, okay. I was dividing. Yeah, it's a little different, but I think, yeah, the result is the same. But I prefer the way that I did in the past, because I don't have to do that division that many more times than needed. Yeah, it's good. Also good here. Okay, we have implemented a delta time. We're not using it for now, but also I did the delta time at the update, but we can need it also at the render. I maybe no. Yeah, the delta time is just an update thing. No, but the animation system can need the delta time. Então, sometimes in the render we need the delta time. Okay. Here I also added max, which set the max time, the max FPS at the engine, but I think I will not implement it for now. So it's working the delta time. Let's do fit engine del added delta time. Okay. We have now a simple skeleton for the game engine. We can just create a window. So let's pass to a simple next step that I want to do, that is creating a simple logger class. In the future, we can make it wrap some other logger. Or we already can make that, I think, as the log. I think that is the name of a good, yeah, SPD log. I think SPD log is a good logging library. Yeah. Oh, it can log to Kitty widgets. I think that we can make a wrapper for it. Okay. Let's make the logger library a wrapper. Oh, it also has the version 2. Okay. Mason build here. SPD log. SPD log. It's just SPD log. Okay. So let come here SPD log equals dependency SPD log. SPD log. Okay. We can create a maybe I don't know if we need a logger file, another folder for now. Let's just create a logger .h, and after that we can see if we need to break how we break the project structure. Yeah, let's for now just create a logger.h. I hate these words. I just need the pragma ons. Okay, I need to set a class. Oh, better. I think a namespace logger is better. Also, I want to make a way to forward the content that we set. It's as for yesterday. The logger for that, but I don't. I don't remember how. I need to create a logger. Set level example. If we need to create a logger, maybe I have to do something different. Int man. No, it doesn't need to be created, the logger. User defined callbacks about log events. I know that we can make the C++ create a macro cpp macro expand macro expand. Oh, better, macro argument forward, like the std forward. um yeah, it's something like that I want. A file, a line. Didn't understand very well. It's the current file, it's the current line, info, it's the level, okay. It's the str, the number of, and the args. Okay, I understand now. So I can define, something here, like info Let's test it. The define info will be a void. I put a I can include here just for test. Include logger.cpp, cpp no. And I can use logger and it has the info no. How can I make that a wrapper with defined so I can cpp macro on namespace. Yeah, it's that what I want. You can use namespace b, define assert a b, assert a. Exactly what you want with the assert. Let's see. I can use that to make a fake prefix. Define fake prefix. Oh, it's also a great thing to do. Okay. I think it's that doesn't work, but I have other things. If it's if def, I don't remember correct. It's if def debug if def debug, if we define the build as debug, if and def, no, it's, I think we can have else. Yeah, we can have a else, and we can have an and if. Great. What we will be doing here? I just let's check the AI about what I want to do. If it's really impossible, I want to have a macro, nice CPP code that wraps loggers methods. I want some like this, so I can call, for example, logger full and at debug fields expand to expand to act logger implementation and release it and possible to do it. Okay, now let's just wait, but I need to do something like that. Hey, what I'm seeing here, line void, I can do something like that. Let's show for you. First, I think it will be better to end debug. We are not in debug mode, and based on what I saw here, I can make like some C++ templates to solve what I need. It's not what really I want, but will solve a little of the issue. Okay, I can do so. We create here a namespace logger as what I wanted. That if that thing will be here, great. The namespace, at this namespace, we will be implementing some inline methods with also templates. So we create a template, but I in reality I'm confused if I do that or just use macros. I will change my mind again. I saw at my second screen another example that I think will be better for our case. So I want to define here something like log underline underscore info that receives n numbers of parameters and will be void 0 here. What this does? It's basically it creates a if you are not in debug mode, it will just add an empty code to the log info. But here we also will be defining the log info. But in the reality here, we will be using the including hashtag include SPD. It's SPD logger. But oh, I don't have the SPD logger yet. So let's just build here for now to download. I have to set up, I think. Just set up. Reconfigure. Let's run the Mason setup dash reconfigure. Because we need to download the SPD log. That went back here. And wait a little bit. And dependency SPD log not found. I have to run some command for the rep that I don't remember. Oh yeah, I forgot. Mason rep install SPD log. And so we can just use the just. And we also need the format. Então, oh, so sorry, FMT. But I don't know if we need to add the FMT to the project or it adds automatically. Yeah, compile. So we can come here and spdlog spdlog.h. That is it? I'm correct. Basic usage. Yeah. So we can come here as log info and do spd log underscore info and underscore va. I think it's va underscore again args. Just let me check here. It's yeah, it's va underscore args underscore. And with that, I think normally it will be working. spd log scope operator info. Yeah, now we need to add a logger for each message. And let's use the as we have which levels, basic logger, rotating file, dailies files, periodic flush, register several loggers, which are the types of the logger, which levels it has. Let's check here. spd log. Oh, it's very small implementation. It's everything in spd log details. It's here. So the log, yeah, here. spd log, logger. Maybe in logger. Trace log. Yeah, I have some here. But if I had some configure helpers, those links, yeah, re-added. Yeah, the levels are these, but okay, we have info, we have warn, error, critical, trace, debug. Okay, I think it's info, debug, warn. Info and debug are the same thing. And I maybe info, warn, error, and critical. Info, warn, debug, error, critical. Yeah, these are the login level. Critical, it's the same. Yeah, it's everything as it's written. So let's get here and define. And let's start spd log scope operator and let's set it as warn underline va underline args. In the future, we also can have some way to toggle the logs only above certain levels. For example, error logs, maybe we want to maintain them. Error underline VA underline args underscore. And here is critical, and here we set as trace. Let's check if our logger is working by getting some message. Log, I want a log info that have the name delta time and some. I want to test the forward for multiple arguments. How can I do that? Just put the value here. So delta time here. Let's see if it builds. It build, and let's run it. And if we come here, info delta time, we have date. Yeah, perfect. It's perfect. Great. Now we can go here, remove this IO stream, and check everywhere that we get some issues, and come here and log. It's a critical error, and we name it. The message will be can't initialize SDL free. Okay. Oh, let's just fail it. It's better fail it. And here we can just create a window or render. Have any other issues? No, just be run. And perfect. Great. What is the time? Okay. Let's commit it. The Mason added some extra folders in my SRC. It's something wrong. Oh. Okay. Let's check again because the Mason was with some wrong things, and let stage everything and commit feed engine add logger system. We can enhance this logger system in future, but just by using the SPD log is a great logger system. because it's way better than anything that we can do. Yeah, it's way better than anything we can do, and a lot of hours of programming. Because just see that more than 4,000 commits, years of working. Just this file is here. Git attributes from 7 years ago, the last commit. So it's way better than we can do. So now that we added a logger, I think we can start thinking about getting some data from the from assets, maybe. So we can go already and test to see our game screen working, everything working. Because the best part of a game engine is to the most emotional part is to see the some cube spinning something. And in our case, we will be starting with simple textures. So we can, I think, start the foundation of an asset manager and later add the ant. The ant is this lib. I think it's the ant, the C++ lib. It's a great ECS. We will not implementing an ECS by ourselves because, as I said, for the logger, it's a gigantic job to implement ECS completed by complete. With the performance of ant, we probably can't get this level of performance just by one day, 1 week, or even months of working. So let's start thinking. We can also think about the file, how we can organize our files if we create other projects here. I think for now we can create a new folder where we'll be doing the asset management. Great. Yeah, we can. I think it's time to create an asset manager to help us in the future. So edit will be asset manager, the folder, and the first file will create an asset store .h. And yeah, we also need um, asset store.cpp. Yeah. Oh, I made a mistake. Oops. We just need to save here in edit. This is at the current director. Here I want to delete everything and just add the pragma ons. And let's create a class named asset store. And here we will have some public methods, and as private, I think we need to have an std unordered map. That will be a good map. Yeah. The key, I think we can use a string for now. It will be good at future to have something like enums, but I think it's not possible to dynamically create enums. Yeah. I think the string is a good idea. The user of the game engine can have after that some sort of way. I think we can also add that, but we will need some meta programming. So for now, let's just use strings. And here is the issue. In the future, we'll have different types of assets. We can think about it now or later. I think I will let it for later. Make the asset store just specific for game for textures, and later we can see to create some way to have scripts, textures, audios, everything at the asset store. So for now, we'll have that, and we also need the SDL. But I think SDL underline texture is that what I want, and it will be a pointer. Also, I want the SDL.h, and that way. Import it that way, that specific way, and it that will be named data. Yep. Yeah, it will be, or I can have multiple unordered maps, each for no. I don't know what with types the user will be adding here. So no. We need an asset store constructor. We also need a destructor. And we need a method, a void method named add asset. We also need a void method named get. No, it's not a void method. It's a method of the type SDL underline texture for now. We'll return a pointer to it. And I also need a void delete asset. Also, it'd be good avoid clear to clear the asset store. And that is it. Yeah, I think it's it. Some things that is here I want to be const. The get method won't change the internal content of this class. And maybe we can return some exceptions in the future. But for now, I will let it as an issue of the future. Oh, it's here. Oh, okay, it's one back. Let's just take here, paste, and start to yank here, paste, copy, okay, here, 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 and here. Great, now we need just to do that. But we also have some things to implement to make the change. The constructor, I don't need to do anything. The destructor, I want to call this clear because we'll be allocating some data of texture and we need to clear it. We don't know if the engine will be running after the asset store will be destructed. I think yes, but in some cases we don't because like again the editor of the engine maybe just clear and don't delete and create a new as a new engine. The editor can just do the clear work. And so for now, the add asset, we need the string. I think a string, std string is good. Name it file path. I think I can have two strings. Also std string, name it id. So and I can make it const because I wouldn't be editing the content. No, that will be const. I don't know if it here can be constant. I have to check if I can get a C string from this file path. C string. Yeah, I can. So the file path can be a reference, a string reference. And the ID can be just we have to copy the content because we'll be storing it at the unordered map. So let's implement the simple method. First, we need to get a SDL surface. So let's start SDL underline surface. It will be surface. Let's name it surface. It's a pointer. And it's equal as SDL underline create surface. Oh, also here we have to give the width and height. It's that the only overload STL underline create surface. And we have the create texture. Just check. Let's go to the documentation. Surface creation and simple drawing here. And we need simple pixel format. What we need to know. And for now, now we know that I think I will check again my list, my other project that I made to learn. Because I think it's, yeah, I was literally wrong here. My intention was correct. This doesn't that what I need. I need to load the image. Image load, yeah, that is my intention, my intuition was correct. Yeah, I just need to do this. So I want to have a texture, a pointer to that texture, name it texture equal SDL underline create texture from surface. I need the renderer and also the surface. The renderer will be an issue here. Or no, I can just add the surface here for now and call SDL underline destroy surface, but it's not this real, it's just this surface I want to be destroyed. And we need that renderer. So we can just make that. We can take here and put it as an argument for this function. Cut here and come here. Oops, wrong. And add it to here. And now if I reset my LSP because it bugged, it's work. We destroy that surface because we have to dealloc all the data used, and we are not using this surface anymore. And now we will do this, get the data. I think it's insert. Now I have to do std pair, pair the ID and the texture. Oh, no. std pair ID and texture. Great. Now that make possible for us to have the correct stored data of the surf of the texture. Here at the get asset, we will need simply the ID. Just paste it here, and it can be a reference, a const reference, because we will be not adding, changing it in any near future. And why it's saying okay, fix it. We can use return this data dot at it returns the data as a constant, but the data is an array. So I think we can't do that. No, we have to use the at and the ID. Yeah, it's work, I think. Let's check in a minute. We also have to use that to delete. Clear, no. Clear will be every asset, so we don't need to say what has need to be deleted. I don't remember if the unordered map has some method to erase from a position. Yeah, we'll need some weird C++ syntax. So let's do this, that it's easier for now. Data.clear, super easy, but now we have to do some weird C++. That is, we need to have this data.erase, and we need this data, the erase method dot cbegin, also this data dot cend, and now we need this method lambda function, the lambda function will receive. It's wrong. I think I made something wrong. Oops. This was a course that I was watching for game engine, but I that's CPP nor the red map. Yeah, CPP reference. I Yeah, I need this erase method. We need two iterators. But I don't remember. It can be const, but I can't add the why it has to erase. Again, I will go back my old code and check what I did. Oh, I can simply use the ID? Okay. Was here. Iterator position. Yeah. Const key was here. I was overcomplicated things. Not today to use the word C++ syntax of lambdas. So, but before we erase, we need to do as it's free texture. No, don't. It be destroy texture. Yeah, destroy texture. You use this data at dot at id and create. I think that it's we implemented the asset store in a working way. Let's just come here and let's add our asset store. Asset store. Great. And also maybe you want it as a shared reference because multiple ways. So reference counting for the exit store is needed for the data inside it. No, for now, no. Okay, we have that this asset store. So and it will be start at the heap. No, doesn't we doesn't need to start it at it on heap. Just need to make assert no asset store equal doesn't even need to initialize it because we let the yes. No, but I'm with a little questions about if the asset store must be on the heap or no. I think I will put it on the heap as a unique pointer. So when the engine goes out of scope, it also goes out of scope. Because we are also allocating some things inside of it. Yeah. So let's use the modern C++. std unique pointer. Okay. And here I just can give a dot, or and it doesn't give a dot at all. My buffers are a mess. Okay, now we come here and we make this asset store is equal as std make underline unique, and I don't want a unique asset store. Great. And also we can remove it. Let's check if the code compiles and run. And it doesn't compile. Why? I think it's some issues unable to reference to define a reference to asset store const. Undefined reference. Undefined reference to the constructors. Why we are having undefined reference? Maybe it's just asset store. Oh, let's go again to remember the syntax. Oh. I'm doing wrong here. Oh, it was that. std make unique asset store. And it just doesn't compile. Yeah. So I have some issues probably here. I just can use the default constructor in the structure, but I sincerely don't want that. The constructor can be the default. Unordered map. Maybe it's the issue. Yeah, I would like to clear the unordered map at destruction. Let's check here. Yeah, and the code probably now says just that it can check the destructor. Yeah, the issue is with the destructor. Why the destructor is an issue here? Maybe I have to do something. But the clear method it also isn't destroying the asset. So we can for now, but in the future I can solve this SDL image. Let's just tag include SDL3. Oh, yeah. Now SDL.h, and here let's just change here. Okay. We can make it default. I don't like because I wanted to have the clear before that, but with our clear at that state, it doesn't change anything. And now maybe it will run. Yeah, it ran it normally, and okay, only the warnings. I remember the pragma also, and I remembered to add it to the Mason. No, maybe the issue was that src slash asset manager asset store dot cpp. I think that the issue was that, so I can, oh, I can come back with my constructor and destructor, make it be the dot h, erase here, change here, erase here, here. Wait, what? Full. Now I with a Mason issue. Why? Ah, I forgot comma. And the compilation exited abnormally. Undefined reference image load. Why it's undefined reference? I'm getting the reference from the SDL image. It's also what I was doing in my code implementation. The image load came from SDL image, SDL3 image. But we can't define reference to SDL. Maybe. Oh, it's just to read documentation. I also saw, although let's let it for the future, the scaling method, another issue. So it's really an undefined reference. Why I don't have the reference? I have here. That deco spec, still call. It's here. Why I can't? Where is the SDL documentation? I need the SDL image. And image load will be here. Want the generic one. Is there underscore image flashes there underscore image remarks. Why it isn't been linked? Why? I have the SDL3 image. Maybe I have to enable support for and I have to enable some support for example, PNG, because if my memory is in a good state, I remember that project that I always consulting. Why? Yeah, here. My CMake, at my CMake, I had some turned. I have to turn off some things and here for the STL image. That I set it something off, but no, I just added in the red. Why that? Let's clear and just set up again. Maybe it helps. Sometimes just delete and recreate the build is the better approach. The best approach. Hmm. And setup finished. Now let's test the build. Just build and see. I need to check also how to disable warnings in vendor projects. Yes, sub fail undefined reference to image load. Just the last check. Image load returns a surface that receives char. And I almost sure that this isn't. I don't committed a typo. Yeah, I didn't committed a typo. Why? Let me read. Defined reference to image load. Maybe is why I get in because I get a reference to the file path. I think no, but just to make sure. Yeah, it wasn't that because we are converting it to C string. My editor now has identified the image load. I think I will stop the stream today at this point. I will study more about why in this project the image load is not working. It most probably will be an issue with the Mason builds, with the build here, or something at the download of the sub project. Something is wrong that I didn't notice, but I will check it tomorrow when I will be free. Probably the next stream will be Monday. This Thursday and Friday I will be traveling, and I don't have plans to make streams at weekends. My plans to make the stream I stream at every day of the week except for the weekends. So that is will the end of this stream, and goodbye.